and welcome to Win Over Depression. I am your host, Tamara Trotter. This podcast is dedicated to the millions of people who suffer from a mental illness but try every single day to feel better. This podcast is also dedicated to those who are trying to understand someone better who lives with a mental illness. We appreciate you wanting to learn more, and we hope that this podcast will give you many answers to the questions that you may have. We encourage you to subscribe to our podcast, Win Over Depression. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Play. This podcast is also available on dozens of other platforms, so be sure to listen to Win Over Depression. Today, we'll be talking about determination. So let us first define what is determination. Determination is firmness of purpose and a resoluteness, the process of establishing something exactly by calculation or research, the controlling or deciding of something's nature or outcome. Determination is a positive emotional feeling that promotes persevering towards a difficult goal in spite of obstacles. Determination occurs prior to goal attainment and serves to motivate behavior. The feeling of determination increases as the challenge increases, but at some point, the challenge can surpass your belief in overcoming it. You experience determination when you have a goal to achieve. You recognize that there are obstacles along the way, but you feel confident in your skills and willpower to overcome them. In this regard, determination is similar to hope. The difference between the two emotions is the amount of control and self-accountability you feel in a situation. So I know that you are listening to this podcast because you are determined to manage your symptoms of depression and feel better, or you are wanting to learn more about someone who suffers with depression in order to help them manage their feelings. So I know you're determined, but how confident are you that you can make a change and that you have the ability to get to a better place? Remember, I am never saying to you in this podcast that you will never experience symptoms of depression, because as I've said many times, I am not a licensed clinician, and I am speaking specifically from my own personal experience. But I can say that when you decide to do something differently, and when you decide that you want to take better control of your emotions and feelings, your symptoms of depression can decrease by 80 to 90%. And I know that to be true. So if you are determined, I would like for you to continue listening to these episodes, and we offer a journal that will help you capture all of your ideas, and you will be able to find that journal after the first of the year on my website. But in the meantime, just use some paper and a pencil and write down the homework that is included in many of these episodes. And once you commit to doing the homework, the determination that I know that you have is going to come to the forefront. But I will admit this, you must believe that you can do this, because perseverance is 99.9% of success. So being determined is an excellent start. It is a step in the right direction. It is something that is better than not feeling that you're going to get anywhere. But determination in and of itself is not enough. You have to have the tenacity and the wherewithal to keep going and to keep fighting. And I know for certain that it is extremely tiring, and sometimes you just want to give up. But if you celebrate the small wins, the little baby steps that you're taking, and you ask other people who know you, ask them about your mood. Ask them if you seem to be turning some corners, looking better, and feeling better. Because they will be able to encourage you and let you know that you are on the path to healing. Sometimes we cannot see the progress we've made because we are too close to the situation. But the moment that you ask someone else, they will be able to share with you the fact that you are doing much better. So, what are you determined to do? Are you determined to have 30 days of feeling better? I would like for you to keep a calendar for the next 30 days. And each day, write down on that calendar how you're feeling. Or if writing it down might feel like a struggle, I encourage you to download the app called Moodlely, Moodily. And this app allows you to rate your mood every single day so that you can see the tangible progress of your efforts. So go ahead and download the app called Moodlely. So as you are writing down your mood every single day, think about what is it that on the days that you rated yourself much higher, what were your activities that day? Who did you interact with? Were you home alone? Were you interacting with others? Were you out of the house? Because all of that plays into our symptoms of depression. So my next question is, how determined are you to get to a better place in your life, whether that's emotionally, financially, spiritually, relationship-wise, because it all goes together. If you are not feeling good, it's difficult for you to excel financially. And if you are not feeling good, it's hard for you to be emotionally together. It's hard for you to give yourself to someone else in a relationship. And I mean, give yourself in a way that they know that they are important in your life. So when we get our mental health condition together, many other situations fall into place because we have clearer thinking. We are feeling better physically. We're eating better. All of those are factors that make a difference. So what will you do to increase your determination? What will it take? Are you determined to make 2024 a much more productive, prosperous, and effective year for you? Now's the time to start thinking about that, as December, the last month of the year, is quickly approaching. I always like to talk about in my last episodes before the end of the year, don't set yourself up for failure by setting such lofty New Year's resolutions. My New Year's resolution has been the same for the last 4 years, and it's 2 words: do better. That's all. Do better. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. Be a better sister, a better daughter, a better aunt. What can you do in those areas? Because when we are more specific and we set time frames on ourselves, then we don't succeed, then we feel bad. So just do better. So what will you do in 2024? Are you determined to make 2024 a much better year for you? I have to say that this year, although there's been a lot of trials and tribulations, it has been a very productive year for myself and win over depression. In January of 2023, I made a commitment and I was determined to make it happen. And that commitment was to, without fail, every single Friday, drop an episode of Win Over Depression. And I have done just that all year long. Have not missed a week. And that is monumental because this is our 101st episode. Many people give up after 7 tries at something and they are not successful. So most people give up after the 7th podcast episode. They give up after 7 months of trying something and not getting the results that they're looking for. But you have to really be in what I call in it for the long haul. That you know it's not going to happen overnight. And even though it's been many years and you still haven't gotten to where you know you can get, you still keep pushing. Because guess what? When you keep going and you keep building content, you keep speaking to people about what you're doing, then you have continued to saturate the market with your brand. And even though it may not be well known to a lot of people, it only takes that one opportunity, that one piece of content that either goes viral or lets someone know that what you have to offer is important and valuable. See, when we stop because we are not achieving, then we set ourselves up because when the moment happens for our breakthrough, we don't have as much as we should have had because we stopped along the way. So when you are determined, there's nothing that's going to hold you back. Not people, not situations where people are saying no and closing the door in your face. None of that is going to keep you from putting one step in front of the other. Remember, when you have determination, just the challenge alone can help you surpass your belief in overcoming it. So even though there are obstacles, setbacks, different ways you need to move about, you still keep your eyes on the prize. And what is the prize? The prize is your why. The prize is having your passion fulfilled so that other people can benefit from what you have to offer. I have said many times that there are people waiting for your breakthrough. There are people waiting to go back and hear your content. There are people waiting to see what you have to offer them. And when you continue, despite not feeling like it, then you are staying in the game of life and you realize and you accept the fact that giving up is never an option. You have a resolution and a resolve that says, I won't give up, I won't quit, I won't give in, I'll keep pushing. Because 1,000 people can say no, but one right person that says yes can change everything. So be mindful of that. So what are you determined to do? What is your goal? So I've given you a 30-day challenge, but sometimes 30 days seems like an eternity to some. So what will you do in the next 3 days? What are you determined to do and commit to in the next 3 days? The next 7 days? The next 14 days? The next 21 days? The next 30 days? What are you determined to do? Are you determined for 30 days to eat better because your mental health depends on it? Are you more determined than ever to make a decision that you know is necessary? Are you determined to prune that relationship that is continuing to cause you stress and strain, whether it is family or friends, a husband or a wife, a brother or a sister, or even your children? What are you motivated or inspired to do? People make change due to inspiration or desperation. So are you desperate and determined to change, or are you inspired to change? What is your will telling you? Because what you believe in your will and in your heart is what will come to pass. And the truth is this: if you don't believe that you can get to a better place, you will likely not get there. If you don't believe that you can get that promotion, or there's something else on the horizon and you just have to be vigilant, be very hard for you to get there. Our beliefs, the way we think, how we rationally figure things out, how we problem solve or not, how we turn around something that is negative in our life and change it to something that is good, it is all up to us. So are you determined to be all that you can be? Some people succeed because they are destined, but most people because they are determined. So are you among those people who are most determined? And how are you going to lay out the cards? What will you do? Who will you talk to? What will you say? What do you want the outcome to be? Make it clear, make it plain. Write it out. Put it somewhere in your bathroom where you can see it. Write down your goal. In the next 3 days, I will. In the next 5 days, I will. And make it happen. I want to remind you of many of our episodes that will help you along this path to achieving what you set out to achieve. I encourage you to listen to episode 99, 5 Ways to Build Momentum to Overcome Depression. You definitely need momentum if you are determined. Episode 98, 9 Ways to Harness Resilience for Mental Health Challenges. You definitely need resilience. Episode 94, Turning Setbacks into Comebacks, a tale of resilience and joy, to name a few. But there are over 100 other episodes that will encourage and inspire you. And I know that you are determined because I believe in you. I always have. And despite whatever you're going through, don't stop where you are. Keep going. Do something different. Make a decision that will change the trajectory of your life, and do it today. If there's something, and I've said it many times, that you know you need to do, there's something that you need to tell someone, there's a decision that's vital to your survival, don't hesitate to make that decision. And if you are listening to this podcast and you are feeling suicidal, please do not take your life. You are valuable. Your life is worth living. And there are people who would miss you dearly. So go ahead and lay down. Put away whatever it is that you thought about doing and decide to live. If you are suicidal and you have an accountability partner, pick up the phone and call that person and let them know how you are feeling. Please, my friend, do not take your life. Go ahead and look at some other episodes that the title resonates with you and listen to those episodes. Listen to them all night if you have to, if that's what it's going to take for you to stay in the game of life. Remember, giving up is never an option. And when you decide to commit suicide, that is a very permanent reaction to what is likely a temporary situation. And this is actually something that the guest on my 100th episode, Mark Christopher Lawrence, it's a quote that he said, "You can call or text the suicide hotline at 988. Call 988 or text 988 and then press 1. And you will be connected to a mental health expert who will talk with you and help you in this situation. Stay in the game of life, my friend. I never want to end my podcast without thanking you so very much for listening. We are moving into an international market, and Win Over Depression will soon be among the top podcasts in the country. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, you are someone who has a mental illness, but it does not define you. Or maybe someone you know has a mental illness. It does not define them. We are all facing situations in our lives, cards that we are dealt, and we have to make the best of the situation that we find ourselves in. So you must continue to have hope, knowing that you can and will feel better. But it's totally up to you. And I hope that you are determined to make it happen in your life. Thank you for listening to episode 101. And I will see you next Friday on Win Over Depression. If you would like to become a patron for this channel, please go to www.patreon, that's patreon.com, and as little as $5 to $25 per month will help this channel immensely. You can also leave a one-time donation. Just find it on patreon.com, and it's /Tamara Trotter. That's Tamera, last name Trotter, Trotter. You can also find us on Pinterest at TT Mental Health Expert. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, also called Win Over Depression. We're also available on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter at Tamara Trotter. Thank you so much. The best part of Win Over Depression.